following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is a Wednesday inside the SWBC Mortgage Studios here at the Star in Frisco, Texas. I'm in studio. Let me adjust my camera. Let me get it straight there, okay?
Are you
Mickey
straight?
Spagnola is in studio. And Everson Walls is in his own personal studio. And we got lots to talk about on this edition of Mick Shots. First off, Mickey, how about we say hello to Everson? Make sure Everson can hear us well. Hello, Everson.
I'm here.
We don't want you to feel left out.
I can't even see you, Bill. I can't even see Bill. Where are you, Bill? You're like God speaking down amongst His people. Where are you?
You're not on the WebEx. Where are you at?
Well, I'm off by myself.
Oh, okay.
Off.
But he's here. I've got the WebEx. Yeah. You want to share?
Yeah.
He's off by himself. My mind is going so many places with that statement.
And Mickey, this is the first time you've been back here at the Star in a couple of weeks.
I was here yesterday.
Well, okay. Yesterday was the first time.
And I'm glad to be back here.
That's right. We did this show yesterday,
That's
didn't
right. We did do a show yesterday, and it's good to be back here and good to be around people. And, yeah, it's great. And I even got to watch practice for the first time in this will be 3 weeks, right?
There you go.
In 3 weeks.
And when's the last time the Cowboys won a game?
I think there's some sort of correlation there.
Right.
They need me here.
What position would you
play?
They
need to put a little spags on their shoulder.
That's right.
Everywhere they go. That's what they
do. On those jerseys where they had the little insignia where I think who had it? Was it basketball? They had chime on there or whatever. They ought to put at Spags 52 there.
There you go. Mickey's the backup kicker, right?
No, they've got one.
Well, yeah, but
he's
you're the
backup.
You're the backup
squad.
You're the backup kicker.
I was wondering what that guy was doing today. He's got number one on. I don't know if I can.
Why do we have two kickers?
In case one gets sick.
Because of the COVID environment we live in.
They decided if you have 16
so what?
guys.
What?
You got 16 guys on the practice squad. If one of them, if Chris Jones goes down or Zerline goes down, you can't bring somebody in within 6 days, so you better have somebody to go. So they thought that for insurance purposes, they ought to bring this guy in because he can do all three things.
I wonder if we can get a close-up of Mickey right now.
I was going to say, he's a hybrid. Is he a hybrid? That was my next question.
He is a hybrid.
He's a hybrid.
We're going to get a close-up of Mickey, and you can take a good look at Mickey, look at the screen over there.
Oh, my.
What's in front of your camera, Mickey?
Oh, that's
your laptop is covering
right.
up your shot.
I saw it before, but it wasn't covering up. The one shot covered up.
There you go.
But at least I don't have a gigantic cup of tea.
How you feeling there, Everson?
Hey, man, I can't. Right now, Spags, I'm looking at your eyebrows. Just so you know.
But that one doesn't count. The only thing that counts is on the big board.
I understand.
All right, so can you name the new punter or kicker that's on the premises here, or punter slash
kicker slash watermelon onside kicker?
I don't know how to say it.
Hunter Niswander.
Yeah. Okay. I knew there was
Hunter Niswander signed to the practice squad. So he's ahead of Mickey on the depth chart. But more importantly, news has happened here since we last convened. And, of course, that would be the trade of one Everson Griffen to the Detroit Lions. And then more news today on the practice field. Eyewitness reporter Mickey Spagnola on the scene to let us know the whereabouts of a couple of other veteran players.
Yes, and even though Mike McCarthy wouldn't answer the question during the press conference, but there was no Dontari Poe or no Daryl Worley on the practice field for at least the portion we were watching. So I'm assuming that if they don't get traded by the end of the day, they will be released. So that'll be kind of in line with what Jerry Jones said yesterday that there would be personnel changes on the defense. So no Everson Griffen. The Cowboys traded him to Detroit for the conditional draft choice. It's likely a 6th, but can be a 5th. And then these other 2 guys, if no one gives them a bushel of apples, they're probably going to be released. You know what I figured out? So Dontari Poe had $3.5 million guaranteed on his free agency contract. He played 266 snaps. So, and he had 9 tackles. So for 9 tackles, costing $3.5 million, that ends up being $444,000 per tackle.
It's a good job if you can get it.
Also, it comes to
but that's not fair. Go ahead,
it comes
Spags,
to
finish up. That's not fair.
$15,000 per snap.
Yeah,
All right,
but you got to count the double teams that he took.
That's right.
Come on,
That's
man.
right.
Well, that's what he was supposed to be able to do. He was supposed to hold up against double teams, and he got washed out of there.
Well, you can't. How do you quantify that, Spags? You tell me. Come on, you can't quantify.
Well, all
that.
I know is he had 9 tackles.
How many did he have last year? Do you know that?
I do not.
I've got it. Well, I don't have. You're looking at the Cowboys stats.
In the 4 games,
the Cowboys
last year, the 4
which are
games
different
that
than
I watched him play,
typically
he had 2
the
tackles.
Typically, the stats, which is off the coach's film that the Cowboys put out, is a different number than what you will see on NFL on the game stats.
And that's what I took.
And
the game, those were off the game stats.
Off the
game. Cowboys were 9.
Okay, and off the game stats,
they
were
zeroed out the last 3 games.
Right. And last year, for Carolina, 11 games, 10 starts, he had 22 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 6 quarterback hits or pressures, and 4 sacks.
Okay.
So,
but he didn't have any of those in the 4 games I watched.
Not bad.
But he was under that rate this year.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
Hey, Bill, should that tell you something? Right? Worley and Poe.
Yes.
Worley was my pet peeve. Poe was Spag's pet peeve, right? So that means that Jerry Jones is listening to our show, right? Is that what that means?
I think so.
Right, Spags?
Absolutely.
He's listening. He's taking our advice. That's
and I'll go ahead and claim Everson Griffen as my pet peeve. So there you go. I do like the fact that they made Everson Griffen a captain against Washington.
Well, you think they were trying to put an advertisement out there?
I think that was a shrewd move. You know what? The way Jimmy got credit for everything.
Yeah.
If Jimmy was coaching the team and this happened, everyone would for years be talking about what a shrewd move that was, upping the stock of Everson Griffen, making him a captain against Washington.
And he played his most snaps in the game.
He looked and I'm an untrained eye, but he looked like he played as well as he's played as a Cowboy, as far as being aggressive and getting after it.
He had a sack.
Sunday.
He had a couple tackles.
Yeah, I think he was out there. What do you think? He was out there like bait, right?
I think
they
he
wanted
knew.
to make sure they could get as much as they could for him.
Exactly.
That's right.
You can't get anything for Poe.
That's
you
right.
can't get anything for Worley. So if we're going to start dumping some things here, then he's got the 4 Pro Bowls, got a little bit of status from the past. No one's got much status going on what they've done this year. So what are we doing, guys? Are we giving up? Are we dumping everybody? What's happening?
I don't think so. I think and Mike McCarthy wouldn't admit that they were sending a message. But I think,
progress stoppers.
They're progress stoppers. That's exactly right. So you might as well, if you're not going to get anything more from those guys, you might as well play some of the younger guys.
Hey, this is the way I look.
The thing with Worley, too, by the way, is Cheeto's coming back. He looked, the part of practice we got to watch today, he was running as well as I've seen him run. So he's ready to come back. Progress stopper. I think they like what they've seen from Dorrance Armstrong, and they want to give Bradley more of an opportunity, and Randy Gregory coming on. So,
we saw on Sunday, Randy Gregory got 6 snaps in the game.
Yeah, now he probably will get more.
And when you have a guy like Everson Griffen on your team, he's going to play. Okay, and so if you want to give more snaps to other guys, then something's got to give, and you got something of value for Everson Griffen, who was on a 1-year contract to start with. The thing on Worley, I thought when they signed him, I liked the move when they signed him because of they had the rookie at cornerback,
right?
And I thought the best way maybe to bring along Diggs would be you've got him as a safeguard. Here's a guy who is a 3rd-round pick who has starting experience in the league, and you got him as at the best he would be either in a starting role or getting a lot of snaps the first half of the season, and then you hand it over to your rookie. Well, they decided to go ahead and give it to the rookie anyway.
That was a waste of time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So,
and they didn't anticipate losing Anthony Brown and Chidobe Awuzie within the first 2 games. So they had no choice to play the rookie. But, if you're going to go through growing pains, well, go ahead.
Hey, don't forget they also had signed another veteran cornerback, Maurice Kennedy, who opted out in the offseason. So I think they were just covering their bases with those signings, and it wasn't for a lot of money. And but you got to be able to make the decision like they have to move on when it's time to move on. Now,
and the thing with Poe is now, you get more snaps for Neville Gallimore. Maybe you'll find out more about Justin Hamilton. Antoine Woods will get more snaps. And then we'll see what they decide to do with Tyrone Crawford, because if you looked at what happened this past game, they listed Tyrone Crawford as the starting defensive end. And
all right, here's my question for you. What defense do you think Mike Nolan wants to run?
I'm not sure, but if Sean Lee can get back on the field, I think they can run a 4-3 because they would have a guy that's played strong side linebacker. Or they can put Jalen Smith on the strong side and put Lee on the weak side if they think he does it better. But I'll tell you what. I went back and looked, and I heard different things about that 40-yard run by Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys were in their nickel defense, and the Washingtons lined up with 2 running backs. I got to consider McKissick a running back, right?
He is a running back.
He's not a wide receiver.
No, he's a running back.
So they lined up with 2 running backs, McKissick and Gibson. Gibson was kind of like a slot back. That's where he lined up. They had a tight end. Well, the Cowboys are in their nickel defense. So there's 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers, and you're playing nickel. And guess which hole they attacked? Where Jordan Lewis was as the nickel defender. Instead of having a linebacker there, he gets bumped off, and it wasn't a great block. He just kind of got screened a little bit by an offensive lineman. If you had a linebacker there diagnosing that play maybe gains 3 yards. But no, he gets knocked off. The corner gets knocked off. Van Der Esch took a bad angle at it, and there was nobody there. And at some point, you got that guy that's in the hole that's got to make the tackle, and he doesn't make the tackle. So to me, if they're going to play a 4-3, if you're going to play a 4-3 against teams that want to run the ball, don't masquerade with a defensive end standing up and having 4 down linemen.
Right.
Give me another linebacker in there. And that's the only criticism I would have.
The way a 4-3 is designed. And that's the way they've been running. They've been having a defensive end play the Sam linebacker in the 4-3, and that doesn't work.
And in that alignment, think about it. If you had a strong side linebacker, you could line him up on the line of scrimmage, right? They do that a lot with a strong side linebacker. And that doesn't give the offensive lineman a running start to pick off 190-pound DB as what happened.
If that much, Spags, I think he's about your size, really.
I was going to say 180, and I said, well, I'll give him 190.
That's a small dude.
So anyway,
he's not someone you want to plug the hole.
So and a lot of people want to say, well, they didn't have any effort on that. Well, they had effort. They just didn't have enough manpower.
Well, and it was misdirection too, and so they were behind.
Right.
Van Der Esch got caught behind because and so I think it was a tackle that was able to shield him off from the play to get over to the hole.
Which, by the way, there and we talked about this yesterday, and Everson brought it up. Mike McCarthy spoke to this today. His quote was, "Everything we do on defense is about our eyes.
Yes.
Everything I've ever done on offense was to challenge a defender if I felt like he had bad eyes." Well, on that play, for some reason, Jalen Smith is on the Cowboys' right side at linebacker, right? And he does not see the handoff. He's taking steps to his right while the whole flow's going to his left.
There's a bunch of plays like that.
And
in that game.
what's he looking at? Did he think there was going to be a toss back?
What'd you say, Bill?
There's a bunch
said there's a bunch of plays
like that in that
game.
game.
And Everson,
you don't
pointed
want
it out.
that from your linebacker
Right.
to have a bunch
And you don't
of
want
plays
it from your cornerback looking inside when the guy's running a straight 9 route on you without a stutter step, right?
Did you see
and
the touchdown
his eyes
run?
were going
Right.
inside. And it's like, what are you looking at? This guy's coming right at you. So there's something to be said about, we can talk about scheme and we can talk about not being good enough, but how about looking where you're supposed to look, which goes back to what I was saying yesterday about preparation. Better start watching some tape.
And the 12-yard touchdown run on the...
And some of this stuff is not just about tape, Spag. Some of it is just
watching
being
football.
a football player.
Yes.
That is just it. I'm sorry. These things have become so complicated, and they just don't need to be. So when you talk about your eyes are not just about what happens after the ball is snapped. Some things are about recognition.
Exactly.
You know, as linebackers, you have to anticipate your priorities of what's going to be the biggest thing that's going to impact your defense versus what's going to be the least impacted. So as the play goes on, you prioritize. I mean, this is just something goes on in your head. This is nothing you have to calculate, or I have to learn this. No. If you're playing in professional football, your brain should already be able to calculate that. That's how you get good defensive teams, because you have more people in tuned to what's going on pre-snap and post-snap. We don't have that.
So let's go to break on this. A good note. At practice today was Sean Lee, okay? Helmet on, whatever pads they were wearing. He was in the middle of everything. He did his little cord work, and he came over to where the 2 linebackers were working, because they were in special teams. That's what we get to watch, right? So Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch are over there with the linebacker coaches working on some different things, and they were explaining things to him. The next thing I know, Sean Lee, he's doing the explaining. And it's like, see, that's what they were missing. They need him on the field. And I don't know if he plays this week, but he was doing all the drills that I saw they asked him to do. So that's a good sign.
And what Mike McCarthy said, he was asked about Sean Lee and at the press conference this morning, talked about some of that innate sense that he has, that Everson's talking about, that's been lacking in the linebacking core, and also said that he's done everything except game day stuff. And so,
Right.
And he holds out hope that maybe it's going to be up to Sean Lee's experience dealing with the multitude of injuries that he's had in his career, whether he's going to be ready to go or not. They leave it up to him, and there's a chance he might be able to play on Sunday night. We shall see.
And
okay.
if not this Sunday, for sure the next week.
Who are they playing the next week?
Pittsburgh.
Where's Sean Lee from?
Pittsburgh.
That's right.
I think he wants to be on the field. Mike McCarthy's from Pittsburgh, too,
That's
by
exactly.
the way.
Mike McCarthy wants to be on the field against the Steelers, too. All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Bring me Make the most of summer with Ford, America's best-selling brand, during the Ford Summer Sales Event. With great offers on a huge selection of Ford SUVs and the largest selection of truck inventory to choose from. Get huge offers across the Ford lineup. So grab the family and head out. Ford's helping you make the most out of summer. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Based on 2019 calendar year total sales. Based on Autodata compact and full-size stock inventory as of June 2020.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
PBR fans, lock in your seats now for the 2020 PBR Unleash the Beast World Finals, and don't miss a second of the action. PBR lands in the heart of Texas at AT&T Stadium, November 12th through the 15th. Get your tickets now at pbr.com or SeatGeek.com.
You gonna go?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to ask Everson a question here. I can't go.
I'm not going.
Do you know what PBR is?
No, the answer is no.
And it's not Pabst Blue Ribbon either, by the way.
It would be Professional Bull Riders Unleash the Beast World Finals. Are you going to go?
What day is it?
That would be November 12th through the 15th at AT&T Stadium.
I think I'm booked.
No,
back in the day,
I've gone to
back in the day, my mom and dad used to go to the prison rodeos all the time. That's about the closest my family has ever been to going to some type of whatever the heck you're talking about.
I've been to the bull riding. I went the first year it was there.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
It's something.
I enjoyed it.
Bring a lot of dirt in there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I've been to the big rodeo in Calgary, the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, that's right.
I was there for the 100th-year anniversary rodeo. How about that?
All right, there you go. So you got another opportunity November 12th through the 15th.
Do they still do that thing?
You got me on that one.
We got a comment.
Back in the day.
Everson, we've got a comment on Twitter at CBS11 Bill Jones. Jackson Jones, no relation, tweets, EW is my favorite all-time cornerback.
Oh, isn't that nice?
You look at the smile.
Hey, I've been getting a lot of stuff, man. You guys just haven't been airing it on this show.
That's a good one.
I thought Bill had the Periscope going. Bill's not doing anything over there. He's just playing with the stats. That's all.
Yeah. All right, Mickey. How about Zach Martin? Might we see Zach Martin back on Sunday night?
I think it's nearly a definite that he plays on Sunday night. He was in practice, fully dressed, and taking part in the drills that we get to watch. So he looked like a full go. I mentioned Chidobe Awuzie. He looks like he's ready to go. So those were good signs from the guys that have been missing games. Joe Looney was out there. I don't know if he's ready, but at least he was out there with a helmet on. And also, I mentioned Sean Lee. So Andy Dalton, though, was not out there, and that was kind of a, how do I say this, a sparse-looking quarterback crew over there with number 7, which is Ben Danucci,
yes,
and number 3, which is Garrett Gilbert. And that was it. That was your quarterback school going on.
Ben Danucci, when did he first play here in Frisco, Texas?
It would have been in the Division 1AA, whatever
the
they
FCS
call that.
National Championship game in January against North Dakota State. He was quarterbacking James Madison. North Dakota State won that game because they win every FCS National Championship.
Yes.
Going back to before Carson Wentz was
As
there.
I was watching that game, I actually called Charles Haley and asked him, what does he know about this quarterback? I said he was pretty good. That's his alumni.
That's right.
He finally got back to me, but Charles is not going to be some intellect of football, so he didn't have much to say. But I did see how well that young man played in that game, and to just even get him there. Me, Grambling State University, I still say 1AA. That 1AA championship, that whole talent level is very underestimated. So I got to give Danucci some love. I'm hoping he does well.
He was basically the Tony Romo of 2019 season. That's what Romo was at Eastern Illinois. He ended up being the Division 1AA Player of the Year.
The difference is that Tony Romo sat for 3 years before he
had to go out there and say,
That's
my
right.
goodness.
And in fact, even his rookie year, he got an opportunity in a preseason game before going out there.
I was going to say he probably would want to bring his James Madison offensive line with him, except now that Zach Martin's out there, it kind of mitigates a little bit of the problems they were having.
So it appears that we're going to have a matchup of starting quarterbacks who are from the FCS National Championship level. Okay, James And so James Madison lost that FCS National Championship game to North Dakota State. So this is Ben Danucci's payback game against Carson Wentz, the North Dakota State product, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. There you go. There's your motivation for the week. All right, another interesting.
Did you like McCarthy's answer to the question about if you have to change the offense up or change things up with Danucci at quarterback?
For a young quarterback,
who hasn't started a game and barely practiced and hasn't had a preseason game. That's what they're up against. So the defense has got to hold down the fort. Any confidence in that? Oh, he wanted to know who asked the question and if they had their mask on, if they were smiling or laughing when they asked it.
Yeah. But Ben Danucci.
I tell you what, guys, if we're going to be optimistic about this, as you're bringing up these three players that are coming back, each group that's represented has been a major failure in regards to this Cowboys season. If you look at the linebacker position, if Sean Lee can come back and all things go well, Sean Lee could make a difference. Those mistakes that were made that led to a big impact in the game could probably not happen. Awuzie, we've seen two DBs get run by as if their feet were in quicksand or basically cement. Awuzie could come back. You don't have those mistakes. Game might look different. And of course, with Zach Martin coming back, just having one All-Pro to be inserted back into the lineup could possibly make a difference in regards to our pass protection, in regards to our ability to block for the run. So just these three signings here, if I wanted to be that ultimate Cowboy fan, which I am, I'm hoping that these three individuals coming in can make a difference to where it can at least give us a chance to win the ball game. And if nothing else, don't take us out of the ball game with the mistakes we've been having from these three particular groups consistently on this team.
One other note, those are great points, Everson, and we'll see. Hopefully all of them will be able to be back this week. One other note on Ben Danucci and the James Madison team when they were here in Frisco for the national championship game. It was just days after Mike McCarthy was named the head coach of the Cowboys, and they were staying here at the Star at the Omni.
Right.
And Ben Danucci and some of his teammates got on one of the elevators here. They were working out here at the Star and got on one of the elevators. And who does he run into?
Let me guess. Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy's on the elevator. So he positioned himself at the back of the elevator and introduced himself to Mike McCarthy. And McCarthy knew who he was because he was in tune with the James Madison quarterback. And, of course, Ben Danucci being from Pittsburgh, too. He started his college career at Pitt. And the reason that Ben Danucci wanted to introduce himself to him, he wanted to let Mike McCarthy know that Mike's brother, Joe, who passed away in 2015, who is an attorney in Pittsburgh, he was Ben Danucci's 8th grade basketball coach. And he let him know
Bill
that.
He read my story from back after the draft.
That's right.
Wow.
So they got a long history together.
That's right, yeah. So
what a connection!
And Danucci, and he set all sorts of records in Pennsylvania high school football. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year, highly recruited and went to Pitt. And then he wound up transferring to James Madison. Started some games at Pitt, but wound up transferring to James Madison. And here it was, just 3 or 4 months later, the Cowboys drafted Ben Danucci.
And now, how many months later? 6 months, 5 months later, he got his first practice as the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys this afternoon.
And when the Cowboys drafted him in the 7th round, they had no idea that he would actually be not just playing in a game, but starting in a game a few months later. But here we are.
That wasn't the plan.
No, that wasn't. All right, we continue
That was not the plan.
with more Mick shots in a moment. I'll let you know who the Eagles are getting back for this game when we come back.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team.
Get yours today at shop.dallascowboys.com or at stetson.com.
What do you call a group of grown men and women who get together every week, proudly wearing the star, to share a 3-hour-long ritual of cheering, shouting at the TV, and raising their Miller Lite together while yelling, "How about them boys?" You call it Miller Time and Cowboys Nation. Here's to the only beer of the Cowboys celebrating 60 years of greatness. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2020 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Mick Shots.
Commercial.
Tour AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Run on the field, see the locker rooms, and so much more. AT&T Stadium tours presented by SeatGeek are available daily. Visit attstadium.com for details.
Okay, here's an update from Eagles practice today. Of course, they've had their own share of injuries. Their offensive line looks like this. Lining up at left tackle, the 9-time Pro Bowler Jason Peters, who is close to retirement. They brought, after they had injuries to their starting left tackle, Andre Dillard, and then their starting right guard, Brandon Brooks. They signed him prior to the season starting, basically brought him out of retirement at the age of 38 or whatever he is. Well, now he's lined up back at left tackle again.
Well, which by the way, they moved him to left tackle after the injury, and he balked at it. It was almost like, you know what? I'm getting paid to play guard, not left tackle.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And then
did they rework his contract?
And then I don't know if they did, but then he agreed to play left tackle, and then he got hurt, so now he's back. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Nate Herbig.
That's why he did not want to play left tackle.
That's right.
Because he knows it's a beast out there waiting on him somewhere to try and get to his quarterback. He's like, oh, no, you're not going to put that one up. That's like playing cornerback in the flex defense. That's what it's like playing left tackle these days. Nobody wants it. Only the strong at heart can handle it. That's it.
Nate Herbig is at left guard. Jason Kelsey, 3-time Pro Bowler, is at center.
Yes.
The right guard is Matt Pryor, who is a college free agent last year. And the right tackle, 7th-round draft pick 2 years ago, Jordan Mailata, as Lane Johnson is out to start the week.
So both teams with offensive line problems.
That's exactly right. We'll see. Lane Johnson could be back, they say, but
and their
anyway.
quarterback has thrown 10 more interceptions than the Cowboys starting quarterback.
That's right. And he's been sacked 25 more times, as Danucci's already been sacked 3 times.
Right.
But Wentz has been sacked 28 times already this season in 7 games.
Maybe this is what the Cowboys defense needs to get well.
That's right. That's right. The other guy, Everson, that is back.
Let's not start. Let's just everybody calm down here. Let's look at what we're dealing with here. Carson Wentz he was like Dak Prescott just without CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Gallup. Okay, he's still going out there doing the best he can. I got to hand it to Wentz. He is got so much heart and so much athletic ability, so much endurance. Mentally, he's strong, and I'm not putting him over Dak by any means. But I will say, watching that game the other night and how well he played, he had almost 400 yards passing with no receivers. There have been several games where if I was Carson Wentz, I would have just thrown it in. Just here, take my helmet, take my shoulder pads. I don't want to play anymore because they have been coming at him. No line, no receivers. Running backs are hurt. Sanders is down. And they're coming in with what they can. This Philadelphia team, since last year, maybe even 2 years ago, with Peterson as the head coach, they've shown me to have more guts than almost any team I've ever seen. They've shown me as a team that has the ability to make no excuses whatsoever. I gotta give that guy some love.
On their official depth chart, they only have. Oh, they got 5. I missed the one. I was going to say they only had 4 receivers listed. They got 5 listed. Alshon Jeffrey, Travis Fulgham, who has become his go-to guy. This guy's playing, right? And then backed up by
Greg
John
Ward.
Hightower, Arcega Whitesides, and Quez Watkins.
You don't have Greg Ward listed there?
What about Ward?
He's not on their official depth chart.
He's got to be on their depth chart.
The wide receiver?
No, he's there. He's there. Mickey just can't find him.
Oh, I see what they did. They listed 3 wide receivers starting.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Their receiving core is a great example, I think, of, when you look at it, when they put their team together, they had Alshon Jeffrey, veteran guy, Deshaun Jackson, who's now out for weeks with his latest injury, veteran guy. First-round draft pick in Jalen Reagor out of Waxahachie and TCU, who, by the way, is back at practice and looks like he's going to come back and play this week. He's a good one. But it's a great example. Yes, you take Greg Ward, especially last year. He was the one guy, with all the injuries they had at receiver last year, he was the guy who developed and emerged, and he was their go-to guy at the end of the season. In fact, caught the touchdown pass against the Cowboys last year. a college quarterback at the University of Houston. And then this year, as a waiver claim last month, waiver claim from the Packers, I think, and he was originally with the Lions, but out of Old Dominion, this 6'2 receiver, Travis Fulgham, comes out of nowhere, and he is making plays, game-winning plays. He had the catch against San Francisco. And was it a Sunday night game against San Francisco where he made the play? He had one game against Pittsburgh. He had 10 catches for 152 yards and a touchdown. Follows that up. That was after the San Francisco game against Baltimore with 6 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. And then against the Giants, 5 receptions, 73 yards. He's got 3 touchdown grabs. But so he's a guy that,
and they're big catches too, Bill. These are not just plays that are just by the way play. No, these are big catches, third down catches, red zone catches that they truly need to get out of a hole. And I'm not trying to be all on Carson Wentz and saying that he's all this and all that. He throws so many interceptions and makes so many mistakes. It just makes you want to pull something out.
But he can do it. But he also can make throws.
What you see is a guy that does not stay down on himself. Mm-hmm. He still believes in himself and his teammates, regardless of how many mistakes they make. They don't fall back on that. And it's just refreshing to see.
In the touchdown pass to Boston Scott as running back, Mike McCarthy. I asked McCarthy last night on his TV show about what he thinks of Wentz and so forth. And he was saying, and he pointed to that throw. He said that throw right there was all you needed to see, and a great catch by Boston Scott too.
That was one of those things like you see in practice where the quarterbacks try to throw into the trash can. From about 30 yards out, he dropped that one right
and leaning back while falling back. Yeah,
and you know what? And that Fulgham guy is averaging 15.5 yards per catch.
That's right, and it's a great example of you can have progress stoppers on a team, okay? And, Alshon Jeffrey has had his moments in this league, but he is what he is now. When did he come in the league? In 2012. So he's 30 years old now. Deshaun Jackson, he's older than that.
Whoa,
man.
He got hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Deshaun got hurt.
But these guys are taking advantage of their opportunity and showing that they can play. And how about Greg Ward? I mean, this guy played for Tom Herman, quarterback, University of Houston. All right, you go back and look at his college career.
Heck of a quarterback,
yeah.
Bill.
He led Houston to a Peach Bowl win over Florida State, where they wound up ranked in the top 10 in the country as a quarterback. And then
That's right.
What skins he has on the wall from college? He beat, as a quarterback, Houston beat Louisville and Lamar Jackson in his sophomore year. Yep. And then his junior year, they started the year against Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma, and they beat them too. I mean, so he, as a quarterback, he matched up against Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, 2 Heisman Trophy winners and won. And then, he wasn't going to play quarterback in the NFL. Well, he's got enough athleticism, whatever, to make himself into a wide receiver. He's going to play. I think he's going to play 10 years in this league.
And he had enough smarts to accept the fact that, my future probably is going to be at wide receiver. And said, I can make that transition. So, from a scouting standpoint,
Am I dating myself when I bring up Marlon Briscoe?
You are. And here's the warning for the Cowboys: an end-around pass. Okay, be ready.
There you go. You want to tell a Marlon Briscoe story?
Yeah, no, that was his basically that was his career. He was one of the first black quarterbacks in the NFL, period. And I think he was up in Denver. You know how it goes. You got those coaches back in the day. They didn't believe in black quarterbacks. And I think it was Lou Saban was his coach. I could be wrong. But they treated him like crap, like they did most black quarterbacks back in the day. And he ended up getting traded to the Miami Dolphins. And he ended up being part of the Miami Dolphins Super Bowl team, if I'm not mistaken, that did not lose a game. He scored a touchdown in that Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. So he reminds me a lot of what Greg Ward does. Most quarterbacks, especially the black quarterbacks that run a team, they understand every facet of the game. And same with Greg Ward, just like Briscoe. That move was seamless from quarterback to wide receiver, even though, you want to play quarterback because you grew up playing quarterback, and we all know the stigma around that. They still took their opportunity where it came, and they have not looked back. Marlon Briscoe, HBCU Black College Hall of Famer.
Oh, I was just going to point that out. You took it away from me. Just in case you forgot.
That's the only reason I know the story, because it's a personal story. I've heard it. I've met the man, and he has no regrets, just like I'm sure Greg Ward doesn't either.
And all of that is true about Marlon Briscoe. And, in fact, on that undefeated Miami Dolphins team in 1972, he led the team with 4 touchdown receptions.
What do you mean he led the team?
That's what it said. I'm checking to confirm that.
Well, it wasn't that many that caught more than he did, because that team was known for having the 3 running backs, Jim Kick and
Larry Zonka.
They didn't go undefeated
being the quarterback, did not have to throw much at all.
4 touchdown receptions, was the leader in an undefeated team.
Is that true, Bill? Did that hold?
I'm checking.
And he's got time not on his side right now. It is
in 73, he was their leading receiver, caught more passes than Paul Warfield.
Well.
Than Paul Warfield. That's right. That's right.
Unfortunately, I clicked on the link and it's not coming up.
You can't get 1972.
Marlon Briscoe. Wait. I'm going to.
If anyone leads the team other than Briscoe, it would be Paul Warfield.
Yeah, no doubt. They're a Hall of Famer right there. All right, do I have 20 seconds? Marlon Briscoe. Come on, Marlon. Here we go. Marlon Briscoe in 1972. Wow, he only started 3 games. He had 4 touchdown catches. So there you go.
He's a good dude. Good. He was a great athlete.
Their team stats didn't come up when
I got it. Here we go.
That's
team
when
stats.
You know you're old. You can't even find stuff on the internet about your career.
Yes, he led the team in touchdown receptions with 4 in 1972. Paul Warfield only had 3, and Howard Twilley had 3, and Jim Mandich had 3. So there you go. We not only talked Cowboys, we got in a lot of Eagles, and we got some Marlon Briscoe and Miami Dolphins history in there, too. All right. I think we're way past time.
We're 2 minutes late, and I've got a nice list for you for tomorrow.
We're early then.
All right. There you go. All right, Everson, we'll see you tomorrow. Mickey, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
1:30.
Live, baby.
Yes. See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.